So the topic of today's class is movement as an experience of resonance and dissonance. So the question that I ask myself is, what do we mean when we say that a sound, a word, a movement, or any other living expression resonates with us, or when we say that we feel clear that resonances and dissonances play in the space between the inside and the outside of the body. So it puts us in that space in between. So from the point of view of physics, I don't know if you've ever heard the word, the idea of resonance. And it has to do with something, with a force, with a sound from the external, synchronizing with the frequency of another body, of another object. And when the two sounds synchronize, there is an expansion in the frequency of the body that is receiving that sound. So something is happening outside. It finds in me a synchronized frequency, and we start to sing together, to sound together. And when we sing together and sound together, the sound is expanded. So something is happening to me. So the idea that I want to explore is that resonance and dissonance, we can imagine that dissonance is the existence of different frequencies that sing together, and they don't become one sound. They don't grow as one sound. They keep separate, so they are not becoming the same thing. So the idea that both are really important to experience and understand movement, both resonance and dissonance is my proposition. But also, I want to explore how resonance and dissonance are not just something that has to do with sound, but in general with vibration, but also that has to do with physicality and also with feelings, with what we feel. So what vibrates and touches us resonates with us, not just physically, but also makes us feel in some way. So if you think of the sound of an ambulance, the siren of an ambulance, that straight away triggers a certain feeling in you. You connect that sound with a certain feeling, and you'd also connect that with certain physical sensation. Your heartbeat might change speed, or your breath might change. So we're working at two levels, and we know we have worked on that already. So one is the physical sensation, and one is a feeling state. So what I'm asking you today, as I have done with the last previous week, is to have a notebook, something you can write some notes during the class. These are not intellectual notes, but somatic notes. They're kind of experiential notes. So after the exploration, each step or each stage, I'll ask you to just take a few seconds to write down what you experience in terms of resonance and dissonance. And always remember that we have physical sensation and feelings and how they associate with each other. So they are never in isolation, and we have never had only physical sensation or only feeling. So that's in general what I want to offer today. So I want to start with this proposition so we can get into it experientially. So I want to start by asking you to just listen to the whole instruction, then you can do it. So you go near a window, if you have a window in the room where you are. So you open the window, you watch out for 10 seconds, you watch in all directions for 10 seconds, then you stay there, you close your eyes, and for 1 minute you just listen to all the sounds around you. So you watch out for 10 seconds, you open the window, you watch out, then you close your eyes, and for 1 minute you listen to any sound. Then you keep the window open, you come back closer to me, then I keep giving you the instructions. So I'll say that we start with you find a window, you open it, you watch out, and then you watch in by listening to the sounds now. So you can go now. 10 more seconds. And then you keep the window open just for this exercise. So you can come a bit closer. You still, for this task, just leave the window open. Maybe you come forward and just stand. You're standing, and you can still hear the sound coming from the outside. You can still hear the sound of human-built machines or cars, and also of nature. You might hear the sound of nature from the outside. So you can close your eyes now. And you can now try to hear both sounds from inside your house and from outside. So we close the eyes and we are in between the outside world and the domestic space. Just standing in a comfortable position. We might notice that one of the sounds that we hear is the sound of our breath. We hear it from inside the domestic space, the sound of our breathing. Uno dei suoni potrebbe essere il respiro, il nostro respiro. For example, let's notice if we tend to focus more on the sound from the outside or the sound from the inside. Just notice that. Where does the attention go? Outside or inside the house? Notice how the sounds are like a movement of waves traveling through the air, pushing through to get your body from another body, other bodies, other objects, other elements. You can feel that connection, sound coming towards you from somewhere else. Also from inside your house, inside your body. There are lots of sounds. Now, out of all the sounds that you're hearing and you're feeling, I ask you to select only 2 sounds where you're going to put your attention. Only 2 sounds. And there is a criteria that I propose to make this selection. As you keep staying in your body and keep your eyes closed, one sound is a sound that resonates with you, that attracts you, that gives you a sense of pleasure or comfort. So one sound is a resonant sound. The other sound I'd like you to choose. It's a sound that disturbs you, a dissonant sound, a sound that doesn't necessarily go with the way you're feeling right now. Another sound, something that takes you somewhere else. It's not negative. It's just, it creates some tension. So now select these 2 sounds and just focus on these 2 sounds. One is resonant with how you feel now, and one is dissonant with how you feel now. Just keep the 2 going. Now notice how these 2 sounds relate with your sense of breath, and you might want to touch your body to feel that more clearly. You might want to put a hand on your body, like Anna was doing. You can touch yourself, you can touch your body to feel that connection to the sound on the outside and your breath. Just really notice the qualities of these 2 different sounds, the resonance and the dissonance. Example, Is the sound that you perceive as dissonant too loud, too acute, too high, too fast? What is the quality of this sound that resonates or doesn't resonate with you and with your breath? I'll need a 30 more seconds to stay with this listening to the whole body, and then to go to your notebook and write down your sensations and feelings of a resonant sound. So what's that resonant sound and how does it make you feel, and what's your physical sensation, and the sensations and feelings of a dissonant